I used to always wish Kushi had a coal or something. Yeah, what champ? Uisha pikia. Uisha gana takarot kikia. Wakshicha gana yujaja. Wana hack gana gadujaja hako. Wow, de kahana dance skaya dikta. Oyate woku. Constantly, every day, you know. And now I'm glad that I learned all that. Because, you know, I mean, Tuitaki Malvika, I know the answer in our Dakota language. Waohoda, Tuenatakono, you know, on and on. And here those are the values Grandma was telling me. She also said, Woiteki, Tueyutikaha, Doni, Kiga. Anyway, she tells us not to push our children away from food. Wod ashtakahan iope wichayasha says. Woteka iope ishni. And I see that in the school, and I tell the teachers that. Don't take the food away from. After he eats, then you could punish him, you know. They kind of hesitate, but I go in front of the boss and I told her that. That's how I learned. That's why I'll tell the child. There's a lot of different ways of our ways, the Wachita ways. They sit at the tables. The teachers, I'll say, you don't do that. I told my auntie, I said, Wachita table akaneka one. Wahal da tipa akaneka chki yoko I trust. Wachita vita. Ito kume akan makao wakishni. I said, "It's head water up to Kauzemina." Oh, well, I'm sorry, but she never sat at the table after that. But you know, you gotta tell them, you know, okay, not takade copy. You know, they have their monthly, and why are they sitting on the table? You know, and no chairs, and I wipe my chairs every day here. Because, you know, I mean, I spray it every day and wipe them. I said, I'll tell my student, you want to be a chair? Then I explain them what you have. If you take care of your chair, Pacha, they spray their chairs and they keep themselves clean on that. But, you know, jokingly, you tell them these things, they'll catch on. You know, but those are the strong things that we were raised on. We couldn't even do that. And, if you kissed a boy, I thought you was going to get killed, the way Grandma tells us. We trust Rosina when you talk. Oh, my God. I mean, it was scary. It was scary to have a boyfriend when we grew up. It was, and then sometimes when you think about it, it was life when we grew up with our values. The way we grew up, Dahan hates you because nobody's not going to survive. Because you had to chop wood, you had to go bathroom outside, you had to go get snow for water. There was a lot of things we did. I mean, we did, and we worked through it, and we did it. And I'm not reading it from the book because I did those things, and I was raised like that. I mean, just one time I did that. Grandma was at my dad's. When they call me Wihake because I'm the youngest one. Oh, Wihake. Wheat kagana chita pahiga timara egina cause. Chanto kuchko. Chan the boys are playing ball at Chamisha off. I forgot about the eggs. Next morning when I eat breakfast when there was no plate there. I said, how come doing what shit you mita egedishne? Oh, she just said doing a wheat ka hadishne. Said wheat ka, your part wheat ka ganach is still in the barn. Go get your eggs. So I got punished. So those are the things that I was raised in, and it was good. I thought that my parents were mean. I always want to move out of there. I always wanted to go someplace else. I didn't want to live with them because, especially Kushihintawi, when she watched us, oh my God. We wash dishes, she checks the dishes up. The kusha, the kusha. When I need two, I want ya. Hey, you makawa chishne, Nina. I want ya kick the. We had to put up her. She was. We had to scrub. We put all the beddings outside. We scrubbed that whole floor with a. We scrubbed that floor. Then after that, he drive. Then we pull everything. And when I eat your dad, trying to be. We thought it's going to be over. Oh, Changana well. She worked us like we were slaves, and now when I think about that, I learned from that. Be patient. And the things I learned, the things we did when we grew up, that what Auntie makes us do. And I learned how to wakabada, make dry meat. We made some dry meat that were really square one. And she said, I hate you, Tushne. Geez, you put her out there. We had to go way over here. Way, gee, not that long. We don't have to make it that long. Oh. Yeah, it was tough, but I survived. I'm 76 years old today, and I survived all that. And when I think about it, I'm glad I listened. I got spanked only once. Mama told me to wash dishes. And I looked at her and said, "Nee, I said, well, that was it, boy. Bang, I got knocked off of that chair. Right? I'll never do that again. Boy. My dad hit me with one of those, what you call those, choke cherry slim. Oh, that really hurt it. I couldn't sit down for a long time, but I learned from it. After that, I never did answer my mom back. Or my dad. It was tough, but I survived. With love. That's what I'll tell my class, my students too. I said, Jahan, your mom and your dad don't hug you. Tell you that they love you. They don't tell you. We took you dad. When I takosha, when I eat takidu, when I chana, when I. How do you say that? Wawa we told you, when I eat when I naji. Yoke pia, they wake us up. Dahan we Kushka jikchi unka love up on our head. Baby no kaka. They understand that love differently because they weren't raised with love in the home. And I'll tell that to my students. Tell them that. I said love is differently. Love is this way and love is this way. A guy that says they love you and then perhaps you're going to have a lot of buddies. Oh, you're the king. And I knew what steady duck up. She was a skag now a steady. When you're broke, where are they at? Those are the things that I tell my kids. And I'll tell them that's the truth, When you have a car, your buddies get in, ask them, you got $1 for a gas? You going to help me out with gas? They're using you. You gotta take care of that. Take care of yourself. Put it in the bank. See how far long you could have that money in your account. All your friends, so-called friends, will make you go broke and they'll laugh at you. Whatever the doctor Shijai Chuni Chiba Echano guy said they're gonna laugh at you. And you call those friends? I learned that along with. But that oh, my house used to be full, boy. We had parties in my house, and the next morning all my couches would be burned, floor would be burnt, and that still didn't stop. After I quit drinking, they bedded me. They bitted me. You're gonna fall off the wagon. You're gonna fall off the wagon. Well, not 39 years when I didn't drink. Takoja took off again. I doubt the one that we buried 2 years ago. And they had him in Bismarck, and they said something was wrong with his heart. His dad called Chev or something. Mama, he said, Lukshina, he said, we had a boy, but he said, there's something wrong with the heart. I said, hey, I said, Duksha, I'll talk to my boss and I'll come down. I said, I told my husband, well, let's go tomorrow, he said. So in Bismarck, the Muyamba, what show I asked Tukashna to make him out. I said, Daku was she Chamano wants an Ewak again. I said, Takoja Vital. Shall take it down, I get the wisdom. I got to get a big chip at Mawani. I prayed so hard I got over it. That night we stayed, next day they had a sweat for him, ceremony at Green Grass. That's where his grandmother, on my daughter-in-law's side, hate you, Doctor, hate you, what chick you do. And then the next day, that doctor came in here. I was sleeping when they woke me up. I hear that doctor came in. Miracle happened, he said. He said, everything's going to be well for you. And that was 1988. He was born February 17th, and that was on the 19th when doctor came up. That time I put everything away. I didn't drink. And it was hard. Sometimes when I get mad, well, I might as well go get drunk. Well, why you say that? I don't say that anymore. If something comes up, I just pray, smudge, get a vomit. It's hard. You never have no friends when you go drinking. They make fun of you instead. Daku, some of the teachers, some of the students, if they go home and they tell their mom something, they call the school rather. They come and visit the student. We have to be together, sitting and talk about what the student is not learning. Some of them are drunk. Well, you was a drunk one time, you know. That's the first thing they'll throw in your face. But at first I used to argue them, but now I don't. It just don't bother me. They forget about it. When they're trying to make me that Shichuka came, I wanted to be a teacher. You gotta go back to school, he said. So why should I go back to school? I said, I know my language. Oh, I really spoiled that. No, you gotta go back to school. Oh, I was mad. And so then I went to Grand Forks, had to go to school in Grand Forks. Then I had to go to Bismarck. And I passed it. So that's how I got my state certification to teach. And I apologized to that teacher. I said, you will tell him that your pay will go higher, he said, when you have this. I mean, that I wasn't worried, but it's good to have that certification, because when people throw it in your face, you know, you've got that paper. And I think I went back to school when I was 54 years old. And I got that when I was 57, I got my certificate. And then when I was, 62 years old, I first got my driver's license. I flunked 4 times first, and then I passed the 5th time. That's how I got my certification, and then I had my driver's license. Yeah. Things that I accomplished, I'll tell my students now. If I push, you can do it, you can do it. It's fun. It's fun teaching. That's why I told them today, I have tears in my eyes. Push is going to cry. I think what changed. I think I'm really going to cry. Don't call pushing. I'm going to miss you guys. I want nobody to holler at. Oh, yeah.